Good afternoon, everybody. Today I wanted to spend a little time talking about what's been getting a lot of media attention over the last week and a half, and that's this Matthew Perry interview that was aired, I want to say by ABC or NBC a couple Fridays ago. He's also been on Good Morning America. He's been all over Sirius Satellite Radio talking about his memoir. And I guess they're talking a lot about his addiction and how bad his addiction was. And, some of the comments that I'm hearing is, that he admitted, and he did admit, that he was taking 55 pain pills per day or Norcos or Vicodins per day. And people were like, how could that be? He would be dead. There's no way he can survive. I've heard it all. And I've had people question me about it. I can honestly tell you that his story is a very common story. In fact, I know quite a bit of people that were taking more than that on a daily basis, including myself. So, just to kind of explain to you how this addiction works and how quick you can get hooked on this shit, okay? My story started all after the age of 40. My story started because I had no work-life balance. My diet was terrible. Exercise was non-existent, and I gained a lot of weight. As a result of gaining a lot of weight, I was diagnosed with a neck and back issue. I had some issues in my C4 to C6 area, which is where the brainstem connects to the spinal cord. I had an MRI that did not show a pinched nerve. I had an electromyogram that did show a pinched nerve. As a result, my primary care doctor, who was just prescribing maybe 20 Vicodins at a time, referred me to a surgeon in Naperville. I was living in Plainfield at the time, Plainfield, Illinois. And he referred me to a surgeon in Naperville. And the surgeon basically said, your worst case scenario, it's a very serious surgery. You got 2 conflicting test results. I don't recommend surgery. Go see this pain management doctor. I went to go see this pain management doctor down in Shorewood, Illinois. Wasn't there more than 10 or 15 minutes, and he introduced me to Norco. He prescribed 120 Norcos with 4 refills. He also prescribed 90 Flexerals or muscle relaxers with 4 refills. So if you do the math, that basically pencils out to over 800 pills prescribed in the first 10 or 15 minutes that I saw that doctor. I did not know what a Norco was. I didn't know that it essentially was a heroin in a bottle. I didn't know it was an opiate. I didn't know how opiates worked. I didn't know that it binds to your receptors. I didn't know that it rewires your brain. I didn't know that you can get physically addicted like you can to heroin or other opiates. All I knew is at that particular time, I had to sleep sitting up in a chair for a period of probably about 6 or 7 months. And when I took the 1 to 2 pain pills or Norcos as prescribed by the doctor every 4 to 6 hours, the pain subsided. And as a result, I was able to sleep at night in my bed on my back for the first time in, like I said, over half a year. The problem is I'm a pretty big guy. I'm about 6'1", 6'2", 240 pounds. Back then I probably was about 275, 280 pounds. 1 to 2 every 4 to 6 hours becomes 2 to 3. 2 to 3 every 4 to 6 hours becomes 3 to 4. 3 to 4 every 6 hours becomes 5 to 6. And basically you're getting to the point where you're just trying to relieve that physical pain, not realizing that your body is building up a tolerance, but your body is actually becoming physically addicted to this medicine. And it got to the point where the 120 pills that were prescribed for a 30-day period, I'd run out of them sooner, and I would go through withdrawal. I didn't know what the hell withdrawals were at that particular time. They're hell. It's like the flu times 50. So what do you do? In my particular case, because my territory was the south side of Chicago and pills were all over the place, at corporate functions with some of my manager colleagues, as well as on the streets of Chicago and with some of my sales representatives, I would go to those different places and get pills to try to make it to the end of the month where my prescription would get refilled. And that went on for a long period of time. And it got to the point, literally, where I was spending quite a bit of money on a monthly basis. And I developed a tolerance of a lot more pills on a daily basis than 55 a day that Matthew Perry was talking about in an interview. And I know quite a bit of people that were taking more than that on a daily basis as well. So you go from taking Norcos to now all of a sudden you're buying OxyContin. I go from buying OxyContin to literally buying fentanyl. But I never messed around with street shit. I never messed around with heroin. I never messed around with fentanyl off the streets. It was all prescribed medications. The way my brain worked was a doctor was prescribing this medication. Doctors prescribed these meds that I'm scoring on the streets. In my mind, I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was just trying to basically get rid of my pain, not be sick, and be able to get to work and do my job. And I did that for a long time. Did that for, I don't know, 3-4 years, maybe 4 or 5 years before it actually caught up to me. It was a hell of a way to live, you know, because every single night you're frantically trying to set up a deal with your dealer to try to make sure shit was left in the mailbox. You're getting up early for work. You're going to pick up the shit. You're driving up I-55 in the morning. You got a jewel bag. You're literally puking in a jewel bag while you're driving up I-55 because you're going through withdrawals. You get to the place where you got to pick up the stuff, drop off the cash, grab the stuff, go sit in the parking lot, choke 10, 15, 20 pills down at one time. Try like hell not to barf it out, okay? 15 minutes goes by, and boom, you're ready to start your day. And boom, you're 100% not sick anymore. And boom, you don't have any more pain in that neck and back. And that went on, like I said, for a while. And what did it lead me to? I mean, it led me to, unfortunately, 4 visits to treatment, 2 visits to a psychiatric hospital, a car accident where I woke up on a ventilator due to head injuries, lost my wife, lost my kids, parted ways with that great job that I had, you know, and it got to the point where, like, literally I was just ready to surrender. And when I surrendered and went through withdrawals at the very last time, it was hell. Because at that particular time, I was basically addicted to fentanyl patches, which is like 50 times stronger than heroin. The withdrawals off of that were insane. I mean, literally probably over a 5 to 6 day period, I was damn near in a fetal position in the bathroom floor. And I was either puking or doing other things. I mean, I think during a 5 or 6 day period, I probably threw up 75 to 80 times, 70 to 80 times. I mean, I know at the end I was throwing up blood. Couldn't hold anything down. Couldn't sleep for about a week. I mean, it was absolutely pure hell. But I remember telling myself that if I ever get through this, because you don't know if you're going to survive or not, I said to myself, if I ever get through this, I'm never going back. This is the last time. And that last time I went through detox, I got through it, never looked back, got sober, and I will tell you, it literally felt like I was released from prison. The shackles were gone. Because you don't have no idea how trapped you are where you're actually physically dependent on a substance to get through a day. It's hell. And it happens to people every single day. I work with them every single day. And a lot of times it typically starts with a prescription prescribed by a doctor. So I kind of want to describe that story, kind of what I saw on the streets. I got friends, you know, that have survived some addictions. I've lost a lot of friends along the way. The amount of drugs or pills put into a system, you can't even fathom unless you're part of that life. But it's very possible for the human body to ingest quite a bit over a period of time as that body's building up a tolerance. So I bring this up because, again, this was a topic that was brought to me by friends as a result of all the media attention that Matthew Perry interview is getting. So I hope that kind of paints a picture of what addiction looks like and the hell that it is. I mean, there's obviously a lot more to the story, and I can share more stories if people want to hear them. But that's kind of the Reader's Digest version. So I hope that helps. A little bit of a different subject. I get that. A very personal subject for me. Not very easy for me to talk about. I welcome the comments. I welcome the likes. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Suffer the Tougher, and look forward to getting you another video sometime next week. Take care, God bless, and have a great day.